can't tell you what an honor and how exciting it is to be here with you today. My name's Doss Williams. I chair the API Legislative Caucus in the state legislature, a caucus that started with just a couple members in the beginning of the last decade, and now we finally broke double digits, and we are rising. And I got to tell you, at no time in my life have I been more proud to be multiracial Asian than when I got into politics, because let's face it, you're not exactly the moderate to conservative wing of the labor movement, right? And our legislative caucus is not exactly the moderate to conservative wing of the legislature. We work closer, I think, with organized labor than any, and we have been achieving great victories in the legislature. I mean, just think about a couple of things just in the last couple years. Paid time off, right? We're gonna get pay equity, gender pay equity done this year. We are working very hard. AB 60, driver's licenses. There are exciting things. There's more progressive legislation on climate change that is happening in California today than any other country in the world, right? And for those of us that care about what happens to island nations, that's a pretty significant human issue, not just an environmental issue, right? Well, I just want to update you on some of the things that the API Legislative Caucus is working on. Number one, disaggregated data, right? This is a big issue in healthcare. Look, if people look at Asians as an aggregate, they think no insurance problems whatsoever. You guys are all insured. Well, if you look at Korean, Tongan, or Southeast Asians, those numbers of uninsured skyrocket. And so we have to be looking at disaggregation of data in the healthcare field to really be able to tackle those problems. Second, we are continuing the California way on immigration. If the federal government will not act, then we have to, right? Asians are a significant population of undocumented immigrants in this state, and there is a conservative reaction. And it's centered right now on my own county, right? A horrific rape and murder happened in Santa Maria, California, in Santa Barbara, and the right wing is going to try to capitalize this. And as shameful as that act was, and we should condemn it in all ways possible, it is despicable for the right wing to use the actions of one undocumented immigrant to paint a picture for the entire country that this represents what undocumented immigrants are not. Undocumented immigrants are hardworking people trying to become fully fledged members of this society. They want citizenship and the full meaning of citizenship. You know, a lot of people forget that in many societies in this world, citizenship has been something that you would work for 20 years in the military. If you wanted to be a citizen in Rome, you had to serve like 8 to 10 years in the military just to become a citizen. It is the fully fledged member of the society. And they, like all of us, are aspiring for that. And lastly, I've got to bring up an issue that we have to counter in the right-wing playbook. The right wing is after Asian voters, not just in California, but across the nation. They know they lost it with Latinos, right? Pretty clear, right? Donald Trump, it's over, right? So they're coming after our people, right? And so consistently, you are seeing plays. I'll tell you, one Republican senator has authored, I don't know, 12 resolutions about Asians, right, in the state legislature this year, right? Think he's just doing that because he likes that? No, there are reasons. And the biggest playbook in their play right now is affirmative action. Because how do you pit minorities against each other, right? You put a diminishing pie of something, and then you let them fight over it, right? Just keep on constraining the size of the pie and then let working people fight over it. Well, their playbook is especially in education, right? Because every Asian mother and father, you know, wants their kid to go to UC Berkeley or UCLA, right? And we need to make the pie bigger. I know some of you have affiliates that are in higher education, whether that's community colleges, CSU, or UC. I know some of those affiliates are small, have smaller membership, but I need you to fight for them. I need you to stand up for them, because we are talking about income inequality in this country and corporate greed. Well, the only two weapons we have against income inequality in this country are unions and higher education, right? Those are the two biggest weapons that we have. And if we want to fight income inequality, we have to help empower our colleagues that are in unions in the UC, CSU, and community colleges. The only way to counter this play is to grow the pie. And unfortunately, the pie has been shrinking. The last few years are the first time in California history that we did not uphold the commitment of the Education Master Plan. Those of you guys that know about higher ed, you know what the Education Master Plan is. It's a covenant, and I use that biblical word for a reason. It's a covenant between the government and the people saying that the top third of all high school classes in this state can get a higher education at a four-year public university. The top third. For the first time in California history in the last few years, we have not been enrolling all of the top third. We have fallen short of that goal by 20,000 to 40,000 students a year. Okay? And so what did we do about it? Well, we did a little perseverance. 4 years ago, I asked for a budget bump. I couldn't get it through the budget committee. 3 years ago, I asked for a budget bump. We got it through the budget committee. It fizzled out when it came to negotiations with the governor. Last year, I got the speaker to author a bill, right? She graciously authored a bill to raise the money. I figured, okay, the Speaker of the Assembly is going to do it. We'll have a better shot. Let's give it up for Tony Atkins, by the way, whose district we're hanging out in. And the governor vetoed it. So after 3 years of disappointment, what did we do in the API caucus? We tried it again, right? And this year I'm pleased to say that the UC and CSU are receiving a bump that will allow them to enroll the number called for by the Education Master Plan of the state of California. We cannot give this up. We've got to deliver to communities, make sure that they know that we desperately need the ability to enroll more students. It's not just about social justice, though that is important. It's also about the future of our economy, right? And I think this is the thing that got through, I think, really to the governor, and he said, yeah, that's true, is we have a need in this state for a competitive advantage over other states. And we don't have a competitive advantage, and we don't have all the oil or all the natural resources. We don't have lower regulation, thank God, in this state, right? We don't have lower wages, thank God, in this state. But the one advantage we have is that we have the most skilled, educated workers of any state in the union, and that's because of public education. That is because of public education, your members cranking out our best natural resource, which is our kids. We need to protect that. And I have to tell you that I'm termed out, but we have great leadership in the API caucus coming up. Some of these folks that are going to be there for 12 years and are already accumulating great experience, talented individuals, and our caucus will just get better. We will work with you and the rest of labor even stronger. And as Pope Leo XVII said over 100 years ago, there is no institution left in society that can counterbalance the power of corporations other than unions in America. We will stand with you. Thank you so much.